We've put together a great quiz for you tonight. We have 5 rounds with 5 questions in each round. We'll give you the correct answers at the conclusion of each round. And make sure you stick around until the very end for our all-in, super amazing final bonus question. We're still workshopping the name. Round 1 is music of the 1980s. Let's do this! Question 1. Which 1980s music legend wrote hit songs under the pseudonyms Jamie Starr, Joey Coco, and Alexander Nevermind? Question 2. Weird Al Yankovic's 1983 hit Another One Rides the Bus was a parody of which group's song? Question 3. Which Guns N' Roses single was the group's only song to hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100? Question 4. Kenny Loggins is considered the king of 80s movie soundtracks. Which song earned him an Academy Award nomination? And our final question of this round. The first video played on MTV was Video Killed the Radio Star. Can you name the group? I'll give you a few more seconds to write down your answers. While you're waiting, that subscribe button down below is looking kind of lonely. Why don't you just give it a little press? All right, here are the answers to our 80s music questions. Prince was the prolific pop legend. He wrote songs like Nothing Compares to You, recorded by Sinead O'Connor, and Manic Monday by the Bangles. Weird Al's Another One Rides the Bus was a parody of Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. Some artists hated Weird Al's parody songs. Others, like Michael Jackson, loved them. Guns N' Roses' only number 1 hit was Sweet Child O' Mine. By the way, the group's guitarist Slash says he can't stand the song. Kenny Loggins received an Oscar nomination for the song Footloose. Of course, he also had soundtrack hits from movies like Top Gun and Caddyshack. And our final answer in this round. MTV's first song, Video Killed the Radio Star, was performed by the Buggles. I hope you did well in our first round because round 2 should be extra challenging. We call it 2 truths and a lie. I'll give you 3 statements about a person, place, or thing. But only 2 of those statements are true. You must figure out which is the lie. Question 1. The Pacific Ocean is increasing in size by several inches each year. The Pacific Ocean is home to the tallest mountain on Earth, and the Pacific Ocean is home to the remotest place on Earth. One of those facts is actually a lie. But which one? Question 2 is about the country of China. China has only 1 time zone. In China, the number 5 is avoided as it's associated with death, and Chinese brides traditionally wear red instead of white. 2 of these statements are true. Which one is the lie? Chocolate is our third topic. It takes 400 cocoa beans to make 1 pound of chocolate. The average serving of milk chocolate has as much caffeine as a cup of coffee. 70% of the world's cocoa comes from West Africa. Which of these statements is a delicious lie? Our fourth topic is aircraft carriers. The first airplane took off from a ship in 1910. The British Navy was the first to build an aircraft carrier. Nimitz was the name of the first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. Do you know which statement is a lie? Our final topic in round 2, clams. There are more than 15,000 different species of clams worldwide. Clams have no eyes or ears, but they do have noses. The giant clam has a lifespan of more than 100 years. Which clam fact is actually a clam lie? I'll give you a few more seconds to finalize your answers. In the meantime, we'd love it if you'd give our little pub quiz a thumbs up. I mean, where else would you find out if clams have noses? All right, Let's see how good your lie detector is. The Pacific Ocean is, in fact, home to the tallest mountain and the remotest place on Earth. But it is shrinking slightly each year, not growing. China does have only one time zone, and Chinese brides traditionally wear red. But it's the number 4, not 5, that's considered unlucky. As for chocolate, it does take 400 beans to make a pound, and 70% of the world's cocoa comes from West Africa. But the average serving of milk chocolate only contains as much caffeine as a cup of decaffeinated coffee. The first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier was named Enterprise, not Nimitz. That means the first airplane to take off from a ship was, in fact, in 1910. And did you sniff out the lie about clams? They don't have eyes, or ears, or noses. That's a clam lie. How about some history for round 3? We call it Which Came First. We'll give you 2 events in history, and you just have to figure out which event came first. Question 1. Which came first? The U.S. constitutional amendment banning alcohol, or the constitutional amendment granting women the right to vote? Question 2. Which came first? Walmart or Walgreens? Question 3. Which came first? The Disney Channel or Nickelodeon? Question 4. Which came first? The Amazing Race or RuPaul's Drag Race? And finally, question 5. Which came first? DNA profiling or GPS navigation? I'll give you a moment to finish up your answers, or to order another drink. I suspect you won't need GPS to find the bar. All right, let's find out which came first. Question 1. Americans lost the right to drink alcohol before women were granted the right to vote. Prohibition passed in 1919 and went into effect early the next year. The amendment granting women the vote passed later in 1920. The first Walgreens opened in Chicago in 1901. The first Walmart didn't open until 1962 in Arkansas. Nickelodeon has been in the news a lot lately. It debuted in 1979. The Disney Channel came a few years later in 1983. The Amazing Race has been sending teams around the world since 2001. RuPaul's Drag Race sashayed onto our TVs in 2009. And finally, DNA profiling first became a crime-fighting tool in 1984. Commercial GPS arrived in 1978. We walk the red carpet for round 4. It's all about Oscar winners. I'll give you 2 actors who were up for an Academy Award in the same category in the same year. You just have to figure out who took home the statue. Question 1. Academy Awards 2020. Best Actor. Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes or Joaquin Phoenix for The Joker. Academy Awards 1974. Best Supporting Actress. Tatum O'Neal for Paper Moon or Linda Blair for The Exorcist. Academy Awards 1984. Best Actress. Meryl Streep for Silkwood or Shirley MacLaine for Terms of Endearment. Academy Awards 1995. Best Actor. Tom Hanks for Forrest Gump or John Travolta for Pulp Fiction. And finally, Academy Awards 1981. Best Actor. Robert De Niro for Raging Bull or John Hurt in The Elephant Man. While you finish up your answers, you might want to drop a comment letting us know what categories you'd like to see us tackle in our next pub quiz. All right, here are the winning answers in our Oscar winners round. The Best Actor in 2020 was Joaquin Phoenix. Heath Ledger also won an Oscar for playing the Joker. In 1974, a 10-year-old Tatum O'Neal became the youngest Oscar winner for her role in Paper Moon, opposite her father. Meryl Streep may be an Oscar magnet, but in 1984, she lost the Best Actress race to Shirley MacLaine in terms of endearment. In the battle of two iconic movie roles, Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump edged out John Travolta in the 1995 Best Actor race, and Robert De Niro earned his Oscar in 1981 by gaining 80 pounds during production of Raging Bull. Don't forget about our final Double or Nothing bonus question after the final round. Fittingly, it's a question about pub quizzes. Our final category of the night is a U.S. state face-off. We'll give you one fact and two states. You have to decide which state that fact applies to. Question 1. This state contains the geographic center of North America. Is it Colorado or North Dakota? Question 2. This state was the first to legalize same-sex marriage. Is it Massachusetts or California? Question 3. Pepsi was invented in this state. Was it North Carolina or Arkansas? Question 4. Every county in this state contains some part of a national forest. Is it Maine or Utah? And finally, question 5. This state handles 70% of the world's internet traffic. Is that Virginia or California? I'll give you a few seconds to finalize your answers. Okay, our final round answers. The U.S. state that contains the geographic center of North America is North Dakota. The first state to legalize same-sex marriage was Massachusetts. Pepsi was invented in North Carolina. Every county in Utah contains some part of a national forest. And finally, 70% of the world's internet traffic is handled in Virginia. And now on to our final bonus question. It's double or nothing on this question about the pub quiz. The UK company Burns and Porter is credited with the explosive popularity of British pub quizzes during which decade? British pub quizzes exploded in popularity during the 1970s. Congratulations for making it through tonight's quiz. It was a tough one. If you can't get enough trivia, please check out one of our other quiz videos.